Hello, good evening. So I'm Yasmina from Miito. I'm one of the co-founders, and we are actually a hardware startup from Berlin. And what we do, we try to revolutionize the way how you prepare tea. And I have both something to show, but I think it's always faster for me to show a short movie than explain it. So this, ooh, that's loud. That's practically it. So I don't know what about you guys, but I drink tea multiple times a day, especially since I'm working on this project. And it turned out it's crazy difficult to make it correctly because you have the precise temperature for green tea, black tea. I don't want to care about how much water I put in or if the kettle has too much water or not enough. And also the worst for me, the kettles, is the lime scale. And at least my cheap student kettle, it's really nasty. You better just don't look inside there. So that's how we started working on Miito. And as you saw in the video, it practically works. The idea is that you fill enough water, what you're actually planning to use, inside the cup, and heat it directly already in the cup. And then you put the stick inside the cup, put the selected temperature, what you want to heat, and then the induction system is heating the metal, and the metal heats the liquid around it. So the liquid is heated directly inside there, and now we're showing glass cups because it normally looks pretty with water, but actually you can bring ceramic or heat-resistant plastic or anything. So yeah, and also of course you can heat other liquids, and in this way of heating directly in the cup, of course you can avoid wasting water, which relates also to another project before, because a lot of people overfill their kettles and then they pour the leftover water out, and it's just huge wastage. And as well, of course, if you heat smaller amount of water and for a shorter time, you also save some energy. So that's what we are working on. And so yeah, how far are we? We moved to Berlin 1 year ago to start full-time working on Miito. Since that, a lot of things have happened, and the coolest thing, we launched a Kickstarter campaign, which was a crazy adventure. We sold 6,500 to backers around the world, which was great. It gave us some opportunity to extend the team, to start a development, get their own office, make a lab. And then it hit us that hardware really is as hard as everyone tells. It goes super slow. So here we are 1 year later, still with bits and guts and parts that I can show and tell you what's working, what's not working. But basically we're struggling with certain problems. Basically where it all boils down is that this is an induction coil of a normal induction cooktop from single cooktop. We're trying to do this in this size. So it's a bit smaller because we need to power up this little metal part with the same kind of power to boost it up and make it fast, because that's one of the things we want to do. People want to wait and hang around the kitchen, because it should be completely possible to boil a cup like this in less than a minute. And then the kettle, because of all the 1,000 insulation layers that it has inside, it just takes forever. So yeah, we're working on developing the hardware, and this is our biggest struggle, that we're searching now for smart guys who could help us to figure out how to wind this magical thing the most efficient, so it also doesn't overheat. Then we are trying out with crazy heat sinks and everything. And another thing what we're doing, which I'm sure every startup reached at one point, is expanding the team. So we're also looking forward to have some more cool tech people joining in the team while we are on this adventure of bringing Miito to the mass market. So, in case there is a CTO in the room, my future CTO, or a super cool software embedded engineer, please talk to me also afterwards. But now you can attack me with other questions. Go. I can borrow.
Hey, so oh shit, that's loud. First of all, the design is really cool from the thing from the Miito. I like it a lot. But I have one question. Like you said earlier, like that you don't know what the temperature should be of the tea that you make, and I have the same issue. So if I were to make a black tea or green tea, how would I know which temperature would be the right one and how long it should be in there? Are you solving this problem too, or are you just heating up the cup?
I love that you asked that, because that's something also that longer you're working in the project, you understand the first thing what we thought is, okay, it's just difficult to do it. And the second thing is you actually need to know what you're doing. And we see that there's a lot of teas who actually put on the packaging, or it's kind of like a new thing because I rediscovered tea since I started preparing it correctly because it tastes really different. I thought it's a dirty water before. But yeah, so there's tea brands who put it on the packaging but we are also thinking in the future how we're going to expand it further once we solve that coil issue, that we're going to also take care of that part. So the ultimate dream is that Miito just takes care of everything, that's brewed the correct time, you just select which tea you're doing and the Miito knows everything else. How long, what temperature, and when it's done.
Hi. One of the key features is the exact temperature, right?
Yes.
How are you measuring it?
Oh, I love that. So the idea is that the stick has Bluetooth inside and temperature sensors inside. So as soon as it's inside the water, the system detects all the time what's the temperature. So you put it up here, how much you want it, and it keeps on measuring, and as soon as it measures that the temperature is reached, it switches it off, and of course lets you know, like, ping.
Can it also keep it warm? Like like the teapots with the little candle stuff?
Yeah, that's something we wish to have, and I'm sure we're going to have it in the second version, but they also keep telling us that, the first hardware, you have to get it out there, because if it would be up to me, we would add about 6 other functions, and it would also foam milk and a lot of other cool stuff. But the first version is probably going to be without the keep warm. But it is a very good feature, especially if you're caring for very precise temperatures for, I don't know, there came up people for cooking or for the baby food, which is 37, very specific temperature. Then it's also nice that it's staying there for, I don't know, 2 minutes the same. But we're also caring a lot for the not wasting energy. So it's kind of very easy for you to set up, keep it warm for like 10 minutes, and then if we're talking about also saving electricity with Miito, then I don't know if we are going to be true with that part as well, but maybe.
So is it also operated through a battery or what?
No, it's with the cable that's plugged in the wall.
Hi, I think it's a very cool design, and I know we haven't talked about money too much, but how much something like this is going to cost?
Come to me later. Sorry.
Great product. How many watts do you need to heat a proper cup of tea?
1,400? Yes.
Is it compared to a regular kettle? Is it like 50%?
It's less watts than a normal kettle. The normal kettle is 2,000, 2,500. We don't need that much. So we are also using less electricity, but it's still quite a lot of challenge right now for us to boost that into the metal part.
Hey, it's me again. Hey, I have another question. So, as in 2 questions actually. The first one, can we remove the stick?
What do you mean remove?
Like the stick, I don't know how you call it, but the stick.
Yeah, but what do you mean with remove?
As
no?
in, like, can I just put in potentially a cup in there? And one thing that I would find particularly cool is if you would use LEDs to actually illuminate the glass to show me the status of the... I'm just saying.
And it's adjusting with music and...
The music part would be cool too, but like the color would be already sufficient.
No, you still need to use a stick because it's heating the stick. The metal is the one that heats the water around. That's why you need it inside.
And having a cup? Having a special cup? As in, like, you also sell the cup, kind of?
Yeah, but then most yeah. I mean, in future we might have an add-on that is like, you already have it, but that's kind of one of our designerish dreams, was to not make people to buy something they already have. So, I mean, I have a cup, most likely you also have a cup and a teapot. So that my user customer dream is that I can just use my own things. When I step in the business role, then it's like, of course you're going to buy my perfect cup and pay more. But that's not the main thing that we're trying to do. Sorry.
So at the moment you have like 6,500 customers basically,
Yeah.
and they rely on you. What if you fail?
Sorry, what?
What if you fail to produce the cup, the warmer? What if you fail to produce it?
What
you
if
do
we
not
fail?
manage to
I will
get it
change my name most likely, and you will never see me again.